Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku, or the physical Super Saiyan God Goku, a unit that I think could potentially easy A during the course of the upcoming celebration. This physical Super Saiyan God Goku is pretty straightforward. Attack and defense of 20% per key sphere obtained, an additional 10% if there are physical key spheres, and he randomly creates physical key spheres. His links are pretty straightforward, with things like Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, Warrior God Combat, and Resurrection of F. In terms of build, it's going to be interesting to see if he does easy A. But right now he has attack and defense on Super, and overall, you basically want him to stack attack and defense, but you may want to give him some crit, as the unit can be useful for things like nuking events, which we'll take a look at just now. In terms of his links, as I mentioned before, they're pretty straightforward, and in terms of teams, pretty straightforward as well. Accelerated Battle, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Movie Heroes, all of the standard tricks of the trade. In terms of being a unit, obviously nowadays his orb changing and his gain per orb is not necessarily something that is super duper impressive. Back in the day when he first came out, these guys could stack and generate orbs, and the events at the time were like the Fighting Legend Goku event. So for them it was really a straightforward time. Stack attack and defense, keep changing orbs, and keep healing, which was obviously something very straightforward to do. Nowadays things have changed a little bit for the unit. Their orb gain is not really enough anymore, and their stacking isn't really there to kind of keep them relevant throughout current long form content. Of course all of that will change, but they do still have some usability as well. For example, they can still be used for punching bag events. They still are an orb changer, so there is still things about them that are useful, that are things that you can definitely use and see merit from. It's just that they don't necessarily have that consistency, because for them, especially if you're using the same type orbs, the difference in performance is quite big between things like 4 orbs and 6 orbs, 7 orbs and 10 orbs, etc. So it is quite important actually how much they get per orb, and I think that's something that a lot of them generally, or at least when it comes to nuking units or orb changing or orb gain units, is pretty important. As I mentioned, they are pretty useful for things like a punching bag event. Even if you just want to test them out, they still have that gain per orb, which is always great. And you could also use things like the Burrow Cookie and really make Goku clear at least the second round of of punching bag challenges, because Goku can then gain quite a bit per orb. But even just standardly changing the orbs gives you a pretty decent score from Goku. So it does show you that there is still that big gain per orb that they can do. It's just that, obviously there is the caveat that maybe the gain now isn't high enough to kind of do what you want to do, even with rainbow stats. And I think they don't have the additional things that a lot of units have nowadays. Most units would gain crit on orb or evasion on orb or something like that I think they need to add. Overall, a unit that still has some utility for completing nuking events and things like that, but generally speaking it's not so cut forward and dry in terms of performance and everything. So overall I think just a pretty straightforward unit, and not too hard to put together in terms of links. Prepared for Battle, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle. Any Resurrection of F is quite difficult, but I think overall not too bad a unit to incorporate, which is why I'm going to be interested to see just how they are if they do easy A, because they fit a lot of categories and their orb changing can come in useful. So if they can get some other utility or just a overall performance increase, that could be a pretty fun, pretty interesting option overall. But yeah, that's it for me. See you guys in the next one. Till then, take care and bye.